Hi everyone, this is my tortoise Tet. He's about 6 months old. He's a sulcata African spurred tortoise, and we just got him a couple months ago. If you look at the bottom of his shell, you can see that his carapace isn't very developed yet. That's because you can't sex a tortoise until they're 3 to 5 years old. So right now, we have no idea what gender he is. African tortoises are a very easy pet to take care of, but vital to their growth is their everyday care. So we're going to go over a little bit of the development things today and how to properly care for your tortoise. I'm going to go ahead and give him his greens, which is something that tortoises eat. He eats a lot of greens as far as collard greens, kale, no spinach, and when he's good, I guess, he gets his fruits. He gets fruits about once or twice a week, and that is primarily strawberries, watermelons, and some tomatoes. The fruits aren't good for his care because they have too high of a sugar content. So if you watch, he likes to follow his food. Tortoises are drawn to bright colors. So if you look in his tortoise table, his habitat, we have quite a few things in here that are vital to his development. First thing, he gets his reptile calcium from these little tablets. This consists of calcium and vitamin D3 broken up that we sprinkle on his greens. That helps his shell develop and make sure he gets the proper nutrients that he needs, because it's not always found in the food. We've put some bright colored things in there for him just to play with. Some of his favorites are the frog, who's meditating, and the girls in the bathing suits. He likes to play with them. Also in here is the floor bedding that you can see. Tortoises like to burrow. It's really good for their nails because you trim them down that way, and when he gets too hot, he can hide. He has to have a heat lamp on him at all times because the temperature needs to stay between 80 and 90 degrees. If it gets too moist though, he can get sick. Tortoises are prone to respiratory infections just like you or I. If the moisture were to become too high in there, he would get that, and some of the signs would be blowing snot bubbles and watery eyes and just overall some malaise. He'd be really tired, he'd be hiding and burrowing. Also, if he gets too hot, he can go here into his clay pots. Tortoises primarily come from warm weathered areas. They're a desert tortoise. That's where their main habitats are. So next summer when he's a little bigger, we'll be able to take him outside and that's where he can live. They love to be outside and just roam the grass. And online, some of the blogs that I found, one of the ladies got to fire her landscaper because her tortoise took care of it. You can put plants in here also with him, but they will eat whatever greenery you put in there. So there are certain plants that are okay to have around them, and if not, they can block their digestive system, causing other problems for them. When he does go outside, we have to build down a foot and a half into the ground and put concrete around, because tortoises, once they get bigger, they can become destructive. Their jaws and their heads are very, very powerful. The tortoises can range in size anywhere from 100 to 200 pounds. The females go between 100 and 150, and the males can get up to 200 pounds. Again, we won't really know what we have until he's 3 to 5 years old. Most of the tortoises get their growth spurt between 5 and 10 years. 10 years, they've hit their peak and they start to decline in their growth, but between that 5 and 10 year mark, he can get anywhere from 35 to 70 pounds, depending upon its sex, its size, its habitat, its food, so on and so forth. So it just, again, it depends what his gender is. You can see in here he's got his waters. This is his water bowl for drinking with his food, and that's his water bowl for soaking. He normally soaks about once a week for about 20 minutes. However, he does love his water. Tortoises aren't used to the water, and if you have it too deep for him, he will drown. So we have to make sure that it's shallow enough that he can get in and out of it properly. So we've really put the research into developing his habitat to make sure it was good for him to develop in and he wouldn't get injured in any way. conclusion, I hope you guys have learned a lot about tortoises. They are really cool. They're really fun pets. They get large, like I said, and we're excited to see just how big ours is going to get for our boys.